All right. What is going on? Here we go. Here we go. We should be cooking with gas. What's going on? This is going to be a very different live stream today. It's going to be the Cranky Hustler. We're going to do a little throwback of what I used to do because I'm going to roast some financial dumbasses today. Yes, financial dumbasses. Hold on a second. Let me find this live stream. There we go. We about to get off into some serious stuff. So we're going to be talking about credit, money, and some other things. So just hold on a second. Let me get into this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. I'm trying to get everything set up before I start rolling. All right. There we go. All right. So we are cooking with gas. All right. Let me tell you what happened today. If you haven't seen it, there's a video on Savage Finance that you should check out. It talks about why you should stop obsessing with your credit score. And the reason I made it because I was just doing some research and I saw someone that kept asking this question. Do they pull a hard pull for the Oxygen Bank app? And actually they do. They open up the account and they'll pull the hard pull a few days later. And you like lose 2 or 3 points. And I'm like, you're freaking out over 2 or 3 points. Come on. And I did this, go ahead and check it out. And I was talking about it. And now I have what I call financial dumbasses trying to dispute what I'm saying. And there's this one little fancy dumbass who actually ended up getting his ass blocked. Because let me just go ahead and talk about my history. I already got a brand new Porsche I paid cash for. I'm about to really flex. I've had a $2 million loan from the SBA. All of my credit cards have $50,000 limits. How many of you, please put in the comments, that have one credit card with a $50,000 limit? Just one. Because typically the most a person can get is 35. And after 35,000, they start asking for financial documents. This is what I know. And I've got these financial dumbasses trying to tell me, well, if you know what to do with the credit, you can make some money. And I'm like, and essentially what I'm doing on this video is I'm asking you to give me specific results that you have used credit to make money. Because if you can't do that, because this one dumbass, financial dumbass, he kept saying, like, this is another reason I made the video. There was a guy who has a personal finance channel, and he has $150,000 in total credit limits. And he did this video talking about credit and stuff. And I could tell by his credit limits what his income was. Because he has 17 credit cards, but he has $157,000 for credit limits. So his credit limits are between $8,000 and $12,000. That tells me a lot. And also, if he was to charge up his credit cards, he could not pay them off because he don't make enough money. And, this whole notion of obsessing about your credit score, and for the folks who feel that an 850 credit score is better than $200,000 cash, you are a financial dumbass. Let me say this again. For the folks who feel that an 850 credit score is better than $200,000 cash, you are an absolute financial dumbass. You're financially illiterate and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And there's a lot of people who believe in that felonious notion. So let's walk through the math why that dog doesn't hunt. Let's go through the data. The first thing is average income. What do we know average income to be in America? Half of Americans don't make $40,000 a year. So there's 160 million people working, and that leaves 160 million divided by 2 is 80 million people with low income. Also, when you get up to how much people earn, 90% of the country makes low to moderate income. 90% of the country. Only 10% of the country makes 10% of that 160 million people is like 16 million people who make six figures or more. That's only 10%. Now, if you fall in that 90%, you can have an 850 credit score and you will not be able to borrow $200,000. So for 90% of the country, you would be better off with the $200,000 cash than an 850 credit score because you could do more with that cash. Now, there are a group of people, raise my hand, who can maximize my credit score. I could go out and borrow $2 million tomorrow if I wanted to. I could do that. But you know why I don't do it? Let me tell you. The experience I had with the Small Business Association loan had left a nasty taste in my mouth. And once I got that sucker paid, because I'll tell you how I got it paid off. You know, I had this ideal to expand the storage auction business. We had some good financial records. I went to the SBA, applied for a loan, got it, $1 million loan. And those payments were a pain in the ass. And also the whole process of getting an SB loan, you know, not none of this PPP stuff or none of this government stimulus loans, but a traditional regular SBA loan. If you got a cat, they want to know about it. They want to know about your dishes. It's an intensive process. And I said, you know, and I was investing in the stock market and I was putting like 50% of my income in the stock market. So I had like $1.2 million in the stock market. I cashed that out to pay this loan off to get those folks out my life. I was like, I am never doing this again. It is crazy because you know what the payment is? The payments? Payments ain't no joke. Payments ain't no joke. Hold on. Let me do something real quick. Because I think they gave me like 10 years to pay it off. So 1 million divided by 120. My payments were $9,000 a month. My payments were $9,000 plus some change per month. And we were making the money, but you know, I'm a person that is not a big fan of payments because we about to get deep in this. Like I have my house payment, car insurance, health insurance, life insurance, cell phone, water, gas, house insurance. Those are my payments per month. I don't have a lot of payments. I don't have no student loan payments. I don't have no car payments. I don't have credit card payments because I use my credit cards like a debit card. And once again, right now, you have so many people who are drunk because let me tell you why I call this guy a financial dumbass. I asked him this simple question because he was going back and forth with me because he thought he was another feminine man. He thought he was smarter than me. And I asked him a simple question. If this guy took, and he was like, we don't have to use all this credit. He could take 10% of the 150, which is $50,000, and put that into investments. And, he can make $8,000 a month. Now, how many of you know of a $50,000 investment that you can make $8,000 a month? For you to get $8,000 a month, the return would have to be 100%. For him to get this $8,000 per month off of this $50,000 investment. That happens. Bitcoin happened, but it ain't a normal, consistent thing. And I was just sitting there and I asked him, name one investment where you can get this kind of return. And he never answered that question. He never answered that question. He dodged that question. Then he got cute. Oh, what I'm talking about is beyond your comprehension. And at that point, I cussed him out, deleted his comment, and blocked him. Because, see, it wasn't about trying to educate people. Like, the education that I give you guys comes from personal experience. I'm not giving you stuff that won't work. I'm not giving you stuff that's going to put you in a bad financial position. I'm not trying to lead you astray. I'm not trying to put you in a bad situation. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your booty. And I'm just sitting here because I have folks, and there's another one who's probably going to get banned from because because essentially when I'm talking to you, if you're going to comment, don't tell me what you heard Tony Z, Johnny B, Susan A have done. Tell me what you have done. Tell me what you have done to use your credit cards to make money. There's this guy on YouTube that's talking about 0% finance. And we're going to get into this because there are a lot of people who fill out these credit apps and they lie about their income. That can get you put in jail. It's called fraud. Never lie on a credit app about your income. And this is why, going back to the $50,000 limits, typically for you to get a $50,000 credit card, you're going to have to provide tax returns and financial documents. Because at that level, they're like, we might give you 35 based on your good looks and big smile. But 50, we're going to need to see some stuff. In American Express, now, right now, there are people with good credit, never been late, never had any issues. In American Express, Chase, Discover, Citibank, all these banks are closing their accounts or cutting their credit limits. And these are people with good credit. These are people with good credit. So this is why Savage Finance is rooted in having a high cash position. This is what I preach. This is why I live. This is the walk. This is what I talk. This is the whole game, man. Right now, I got a $90,000 new car paid for before I drove it off the lot in my garage. How many folks can do that and still have money in the bank, still have cash flow coming in? I'm going to replace that 90 grand in the next 6 weeks to 2 months, depending. Also, it may be sooner because let me tell you, this whole notion of trying to avoid work, trying to get a lot of money for doing nothing, it's going to lead many people in a bad situation. It's going to lead many people in a worse situation. Because let's say you have the 850 credit score and you can come on YouTube and like, hey, I got an 850 credit score. My question to you is, can you buy your car in cash? Can you pay for your house in cash? Can you? Because if you can't, I'm not impressed with your funky 850 credit score. I'm more impressed with someone with $2 to $5 million cash money in the bank. That's impressive to me, because if you become a 1 million, a person with $1 million in the bank can make or break a branch. Just $1 million depositor. That's just how rare it is. And I got these feminine ass men that want to debate sound, proven, practical, tactical financial advice because they want attention like a little girl. They want attention. You know what? Because what I'm going to do is do a video on Savage Finance. Like, if you disagree with me and you want to spew financial advice, start a channel, show receipts. Because see, y'all have seen receipts from me. You've seen the cars. You've seen the house. You've seen the checks. You've seen receipts. So these clowns, it's going to be real hard for them to show receipts because they don't have no receipts, because I can tell based on their conversation that they're not financially literate. If you're walking around talking about an 850 credit score got more buying power than $200,000, you don't understand the credit game. I predicted before it happened that they were going to start cutting people's credit limits and closing accounts. Why? Because I'm financially literate. I know how banks think. You know the best time to get a loan from the bank? When you don't need the money. That's the best time to get a loan from the bank. When you desperately need the money, it's going to be hard to damn near impossible to get that money. That's why you got to start creating and setting up your financial stuff long before. Only loan that I had, and it's being paid back from cash flow, which is greater than the loan. Because I think I'm going to just tune that bad boy up and get it paid off and just go to a straight cash flow model. But do not be dicking around with me talking about you know more than I do when you don't have no receipts. Because when he went like, you don't have no comprehension. There's a bunch of smart people with an 850 credit score to the max. Not in this economy. It wasn't happening before the Rona. And I'm telling you, anyone that is trying to tell you that you can go out and get all of this credit funding in this environment is messing with you, toying with your emotions in the line. Because yes, there are people, I put in the application for a credit card for a credit union I'm going to do a review on. I got approved. They made me submit financial documents with my loan application. That's how I got approved, because it's like, oh, and I got the max limit, because I'm going to talk about this credit union. Because one of the things I'm doing, this is what I'm doing with Oxygen Bank. Like, Oxygen Bank for many people could be a lifesaver. Let's say you broke Dick Danny, you don't have no credit, you got you a little side hustle, you're making a little money, run it through Oxygen, get you a credit line to expand your business. This whole notion, I'm like, these folks are going crazy over there talking about, well, I got money. I can pay $90,000 for a brand new car. I mean, I could have got a Ferrari if I wanted to. Someone asked if I was getting a Ferrari. I'm not getting a Ferrari. The most cars I'm going to have are probably 2, maybe 3 max. I'm not going to be like Omni in the Hellcat with a driveway full of cars. Because you know what? There is a few problems with owning multiple cars. The first thing is, the ones you don't drive, the battery dies. So you got to keep them on a trickle charger. Like the S4 that I sold, I drove it the week before I sold it, and I didn't drive it again. It was sitting, and essentially now I have to keep it in my head because in the Porsche, the battery has a cover on it. In the BMW, the battery is in the back somewhere. So I'm going to have to drive the car that I don't drive. At least I'm going to have to just take it out, put it on the road for about an hour to make sure that the battery stays charged. That's one of the problems. Another problem you have is parking. The next house is going to have a 3-car garage. Just saying. Another problem you have, like my insurance on the Porsche, my insurance doubled. I don't have no tickets. I don't have no accidents. I have nothing. And my insurance doubled. It went from $120 to $240 a month. So you got your high insurance card, you have the maintenance costs, You have the battery issue. You have the parking issue. So I'm not going to have just a bunch of cars around. I like cars. I love cars. I love fast cars. But I'm not a car collector. You know, if you're a car collector and that's your type of party, you know, go ahead and do it. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be having. And also, one of the reasons that I love the 911 is a 911 can be a daily driver. You driving around in a hurricane, you're going to feel it because these cars are so stiff that every pothole is going to be magnified times 20. And, you know, I've been in the Ferrari and I've been in the Lambo, and I'm just like, because I was with a friend in that one and we hit a pothole, and it was like, good thing my mouth was open. I think I would have chipped the teeth. That was how impactful it was. So it was crazy. It was crazy. Let me get up in these comments. What's up, people? What's up? Thank you, Goddess Noel. What's up, Edward? Oh, the BMW X5M, that sucker is do 0 to 60 almost as fast as the Porsche. Thank you, thank you. Edward Anderson, credit is not supposed to be a replacement in cash. And quite frankly, it's kind of disturbing that business-minded folks think this way. Come on, folks, we're supposed to be smarter than this. Man, this is why I did this video, because people be freaking out and obsessing over their FICO score. Because essentially, if you are applying for credit, you should do it from a strategic standpoint. And like the application that I put in is the first application I put in years. So I don't even have any inquiries. I'm not even worried about it. You know, my credit score is sitting at I think it's like a 790 or something like that. Like I said, and it wouldn't be, you know, be honest, my credit score could be like a 680 and I could still get that 2 million because of my income. This is what they look at for the big boy credit limits, for the $50,000, the $100,000 credit limits to get, you know, you got to spend $250,000 a year on the American Express for them to make you eligible to get the black card, which, you know, I looked at it and I'm like, because, you know, they're charging you like $10,000 initiation fee plus $5,000 annual fee. So the first year, before you even get the card, you're going to be paying $15K. I'm like, I don't know about that. I really don't know about that, because with the Rona, I'm not traveling. You know, if I was traveling a lot, that might make sense. But right now, it doesn't make sense. So my daily driver for credit is a cash back card, because I'm getting cash back on every purchase. And that's how I'm getting my rewards. But you should be strategic with getting your credit. Even entrepreneurs are supposed to be smarter than this. Cash is king. Credit just gives you leverage, pretty much. Yes, credit is a tool. Goddess Noel, who the hell would want to manage 17 credit cards? And see, this is another issue. Many of these credit card companies are looking at people with good credit, never been late, and they're looking at, oh, they're not using this card, so we might as well. They're closing these accounts because they're not using the cards. So he ain't gonna have to manage those 17 cards for long. And Glendon, I have your credit repair course. Yeah, well, you had to hit me up with an email. I'm not going to do that on the live stream. Pretty much 30K average income. Wayne Freeman, if you have 200 cash, you can easily gain your credit score above 800. Pretty much. Let's see. Frank Wilson Trucking, if you do it right. Actually, let's talk about that. You have one truck, and go to Erica Williams' channel where she broke down the math of one truck. And it ain't 100%. It ain't $8,000 a month. It's more like $2,000 a month after expenses. Go to Erica Williams' channel, look for where she breaks down the speaking of the truck. So not even trucking if you do it right, because you have the expense of the truck, you have the truck payment unless you pay cash, you have the insurance, you have repairs, and you have the driver. You know, and also you got to manage that, because you can't just like buy a truck, stick a driver in there, and then money come in. You got to manage that. So once again, how many $50,000? Let's say investment, because a $50,000 in getting a truck is not, quote, an investment. You bought yourself a business model. That's not an investment. That is a business model. So trucking doesn't count. Trucking ain't even part of it, because you're going to have to manage that driver, manage the load, and be very active in your business. Unless you hire someone, which is another added expense. KP, the only way to have 50K make 8K a month would be day trading. Coach Ali's Corner, thanks for the $5 super chat. New normal finance, they tightening up all of the credit cards pretty much. You shouldn't be happy with a good credit cash broke situation. Edward, say it again, because this is one of the reasons I did this video, to let people know that they should be working on their cash flow and not freaking out about their credit score. Herbert Scott, bing, ding, 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 ding. People not facing the real issue. Their income is low. Can't go into debt with personal credit to start a business to fix a low income that many do, unfortunately. That is the problem. And also, if your income is low, you should start a service business. I know you want to start an internet business where you can be a laptop lifestyle and hanging out with Big Booty Betty, hanging out with Sexy Slim Susan and doing your thing and just working 2-3 hours a day and making 10. I know that's what you being sold, but it ain't in the cards, man. It ain't in the cards. Calculated risk. Everyone who taught me about credit had money already. Hey. KDO, debt is debt. That's what I only use credit for necessities or major purchases that I appreciate and value. Pretty much. Herbert Scott, credit scores mean nothing. Show the full contents of your report to Flex. Everyone I know with 800 plus owes 6 figures or better, and they don't make over 50K. Drowning in debt. Oh, Amex is notorious for the financial review. Thank you, Wayne. Glendon in the Porsche. Goddess, Herbert Scott. Hey, Herbert's telling the truth, because this is the issue. Because like on this channel, how many times have I talked about income? Over half the people in this country have low income. Over half the people in this country, if they had an 850 credit score, they could not optimize that credit score because their income too low. That's why I'm like, 850 credit score is not better than cash. Yeah, I'm not buying the Ferrari. Sure thing. Patrick, Amex cut my credit line last week. Claims it was because I never used it. What did I say? They're cutting people with good credit because they're not using their credit cards. Let me say this again. They're cutting people's and closing people's credit accounts with good credit because they're not using them. So if they're doing this to the people with good credit, think what they're doing to the people with marginal credit, the people who are on the bubble. One of my console calls, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but He called me and we were talking because 4 of his credit card accounts were closed because he had some issues, and they all said they closed his account because of his score. And it's put him in a world of hurt because he had payment. He was just like, it freaked me out, man, because it was like I started getting all of these um, your payment failed emails from his service providers. Put the force on the C-Tech. Oh, I'm gonna drive them because I had a trickle charger for the S4, which I just did not hook up for some reason. I thought the battery was good, and this is something else too. If you let the battery gets down too low and the battery's at a certain age, the battery's gonna be dead. You just have to get a new battery. Let's see. Ebony Empire LLC. Some people don't even understand because they're not in the game. Pretty much. Pretty much. Car insurance. Yeah, if you don't have comfort seats, yes. I mean, it's just like bam. Every pothole, you feel it. Siemens, no, I'm not going to claim the car. This car is in my name. It's not in the company name. Johnny Watt, you got some gas? Herbert Scott, once you absolve yourself of the American dream and get back to reviewing your personal balance sheet, you shouldn't dare take on any unnecessary debt or any kind to keep up with the Joneses. Pretty much. Yeah, Susie Arman, she talked about the FICO score quite a bit, and she's caught a lot of flack lately. Old head Deuce, you like my kung fu? Appreciate you. Brad Woods, Glendon, you own any rental properties? At the moment, I don't own any rental properties. That's my intention to start that process in 2021. Ernest Baldwin, Uncle G, I work for a bank and did credit applications. People don't understand the debt to income ratio when it comes to getting new credit. Ernest worked in the bank. Like when I was talking with my banker and we were just talking about loans and we were just shooting the breeze because she was real cool like that. And she's like, yeah, all these business owners who come in here and they deduct everything off their expenses and they try to get a loan. Talk to bankers. Ernest knows what I'm talking about. Ernest knows he was inside the beast. Oh, head Deuce, yes. Jeremiah Hampton, thanks for the $50 super chat. I appreciate you, bruh. In the past few months, I've been living about 13% of my earned income. Excellent. If I hadn't learned to live on 20% as you teach, I probably wouldn't have blown it. I want to move to downtown LA, but I make sure I do not to go over 20% of my income. That's it. That's it. Because, see, one of the things I preach is make your money so you can enjoy your money and live the way that you want to. Don't let your money have you living don't have your money managing you. You want to manage your money so you can manage your life. Because when your money is managing you, it is not good. It's not good at all. Jeremiah Hampton, congratulations. PDK, man, shifts faster than the manual. Because I was like, the S4 was a manual, but I was like, I just did my research. The PDK shifts quicker than the manual. It's interesting. Both of you and Erica came on today because someone's saying stuff. Really? Alexander, I given up on these is who think they know more than experts. Maurice Anderson, you need 5 trucks to see a profit in trucking, not one. All right. Credit scores like strippers. Get 20K and get a house and they will forgive you. Hey, the credit thing is real. Oh, nope. She pushed and advertised her own debit card, claiming Debit card's not going to increase your score. That was outright fraud. Frank Wilson, the Maxler truck driver, 15 years. You're actually right. If you're not hands-on, just starting a company. Thank you. Because, all these folks are like, oh, you could do this because they heard it in the internet whisper rooms that, oh, you could. Really? Have you done it? See, the stuff I give you guys, these are things I have done. This is how I am living. I'm giving you advice from the C-suite. I'm not giving you advice from the streets. I'm giving you advice from a person who's done it. And this is why I am so passionate about my advice on Savage Finance, because I know it will work. If you do the work, if you buckle down and start managing your money correctly, your life will be better. I know this for a fact. I don't put anything up on Savage Finance that's going to get you in financial trouble, that's going to harm you or cause you problems. I don't do any of that stuff, because this is one of the reasons that I'm being very careful, because I'm going to talk about crypto, but I'm going to be very careful about crypto because crypto is a game where you can put $1 in and lose your dollar. That's the nature of crypto. So I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to lead you down any bad paths. And also, the way that I've constructed Savage Finance, you have to build a sound financial house, because let's just go ahead and talk about it. If you build a long-term emergency fund, a short-term emergency fund, and a family operating account, and let's say you get to a tune of $35,000 cash money in the bank, you will have more money than 90% of America in the bank at 35K. More cash money. And then, as we go with Ultimate Money, I'm going to teach you where to put this money so you don't lose it to inflation, because there are a few institutions that have high, they give you some juice on your savings account, so that offsets the depreciation of the dollar and the inflation. I'm not going to lead you down any bad paths. And, it just pissed me off that people are so wedded to the great American credit indoctrination system that you can have someone who is showing receipts, showing you all kinds of stuff, and you still like, nah. I still want to flex on credit. I don't get some more cash in your life. Get some more cash. Credit score went from 850 to 800 after I paid off 2 new cars and a house, but my income low at this time. I get credit company raised my credit limit to 22 to keep my credit score above 800. Hey. $70K or less a year with authority and no major repairs with lease of less than $2,500 a month. Yep, the real money's in government contracts. Hey, like I said, because see, let's talk about investments. What is an investment? An investment is you take X amount of dollars and you move them into this investment, and you don't have to look at it. You don't have to touch it. Let me give you my rental property plan. I got a 10-year plan, and my goal is to get 25 houses in the next, starting in 2021 to 2031, to get 25 houses. That's my goal. And also, I'm not buying houses in the hood. I'm not buying houses because this is where I want to be with the houses I buy. Houses are 250. My plan is, once it crashes, to go in and, if someone's selling the house for 250, I'm going to offer them 210 or 220. I'm going to go in immediately with additional equity. And my goal is to get 10 of these houses, because these houses rent for $2,000 to $3,000. So let's say $2,500 a month times 25, $62,550 a year, times 12, $750,000, minus 20%, 150, 600,000 divided by 12. It's 50,000 a month. So in 10 years, if I get myself 25 houses, that's going to be 50,000, and that's going to be for my retirement plan. Because, I got a video that's coming on Saturday Finance that's going to talk about that. And also, why I love this plan is, unlike a Roth IRA or unlike a 401k, because it's rental property, you get raises periodically. That's my retirement plan. Let's see. It just jumped on me. American Express ain't playing with folks. Nope, Timothy, you get to pay it off over time. Herbert Scott, like pretty much after 750, it doesn't really matter. It's more of a vanity metric. You got 750, you're going to get the same terms as someone with an 850. I've actually seen people say I would rather have a good credit score than $1 million. The only reason your credit score matters so the bank can loan you that $1 million. Thank you, Linfield. Black wealth is mostly in the 50 and over crowd. They aren't flashing on social media. Royce Doc, pretty much. Linfield Moss, I have several rentals and plan to add 10 more next year. All right. Kiddo, and whatever service business that is in tune to one of your strengths. I have not popped it. Herbert Scott, wealth is general with 50 and over. Most don't become millionaires until late 40s. This is pragmatic reality. Young people lie, mismanage debt products to appear to be worth more. Pretty much. I don't really know anything about the tow truck business. Brad Wood starting S Corp. Akina Hazel, congratulations. Probably next week. James. All right, Roy Stock, that's the way to go. For the record, made my big money with YouTube more than trucking. Folks don't realize how powerful YouTube is. Say that again. Like my AdSense, which was like 5,000 last month, that's chump change compared to the other money I made on YouTube. I've made millions of dollars on YouTube. People sleeping on YouTube. Electronic, if you use my credit card that might. Yeah, he was another Pilly Robinson. He was another one of those people. Anton Briggs, Landon, I found your advice in your course 3 years ago, and let me tell you, if people just follow your directions, they would do so much better in life. Thank you, my friend, for improving my finances. 10K in savings, also 10K is a handyman cause of you a month. Anton Briggs, salute, congratulations for taking action and doing that damn thing. See, because this is the thing. The people who listen to me who first don't want to sit and argue because they feel that they know more than I do. And everything I give you is based upon facts and reality. I'm not making anything up. Mozart Gates, thank you. Well, I'm not saying don't have good credit. What I'm saying is become obsessed with getting cash flow versus getting a high FICO score. Like this guy has an 800 credit score and he's got 17 credit cards. Big whoop. If he were to max out those credit cards, he doesn't have the income to pay them off. So he has something that looks good, but he can't use. He's a officer in the military. He only makes 5,000 a month. So if he were to max those credit cards out, he could not pay them back. So he has something that looks good, it sounds good, but the reality is he can't use this stuff. Xana's clutch. Well, there are many people that, like I saw this one YouTuber and he was talking about 0% funding and use your credit cards to buy a rental house. And I'm just sitting on like, let's say you had $200,000 on credit cards and you dumped it off the credit cards and bought this rental house. The most that rental house is going to pay you back is 20. That ain't going to be enough to cover the bills. The math doesn't add up. Once you start digging into the math, then you start like, oh, this ain't going to work. Jaleesa, thank you. Enlightened Minds, hey, rewatch it, man. Rewatch this one because, it just got me, I was like Kiki all up in my feelings because I was like going back and forth with this fool. And I was like, this guy is not financially literate because, smart people can turn an 850 credit score is better than 200. No, it ain't. For most of the Americans, right now, we have Americans with good credit who are having their credit cards cut off, shut down, and their credit lines reduced, and they have good credit. This is what's happening right now. And I'm just sitting there like these people are sitting there arguing with me because, yes, there is a certain group of people who are still getting the 50, the 100, the $200,000 credit limits, but they rich. They not broke Dick Danny. And they got cash reserves. They have assets. They have properties. They have stocks. They have bonds. They have reserves. The credit card company is like, oh, you go bad, we can take this. Anton Briggs, I have 796 with 15K limits on 2 of them. Again, following your credit course, I didn't have anything 3 years ago. 0 balance on them. Good man. Tony, yeah, I'm talking about personal credit. Because, business credit, be real. Anyone who buys a Porsche and comes home and work is someone to take advice from. I had to do this because I was hot. I was hot dealing with this financial dumbass. And, a big part of being successful is work. And this is the thing that so many people are getting out of, like right now I'm building out my YouTube course. Right now, every day I am seeing YouTubers in various niches. Like there's this one chick, she did a video how she lost weight, and she did another video talking about how she got a good credit score. He and her husband, they're making $4,000 a month from YouTube with less than 30,000 subscribers. There is a trucker, just trucking. He makes $5,000. He's got 15,000 subscribers, but he gets a lot of views. A lot of people just don't subscribe to his channel. That's not the ticket. He gets the views. So he's getting $5,000 a month from YouTube with 16,000 subscribers. Let me tell you why people are making this cheese. Remember when YouTube changed the plan where you had to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watch time? Because see, believe it or not, there are like 10 million YouTube channels, and 90% of these YouTube channels don't get 1,000 views per video. So they've actually put more money in the AdSense pot for people who are consistent, who've developed a following. They get broke off. So they get broke off. But like I said, because I'm gonna start. Hold on, I need to do something. This may not happen this week because the day is Wednesday. So we only got Thursday and Friday. So it's probably gonna start next week. Hold on a second. Let me. So all you guys who are on the sign up list, you're gonna love this. All right. Test one, test. All right. So this is going to be a live stream on Savage Finance, the money show, money credit investing live. And I'm going to set it up where you can call in. So it's going to be a very interactive show. So you'll be able to call in, ask questions and stuff. And I'm probably going to do it once a week. So it's not going to happen this week because tomorrow is Thursday. I don't know. It depends on my mood. So you want to be subscribed to Savage Finance, and you want to be on this live stream notification list, which is in the link, the description below, because we're going to start having conversations. We're going to start talking. You're going to be sharing your stories. So this is going to be a new feature to Savage Finance. And like I said, I'm not going to do it anything like this, but we're going to be talking about money, how to get money, credit, business credit, all this other stuff. So it should be really, really fun. So look for that next week because, like I said, the day is Wednesday. So I'm not going to do that over here today, but that will be coming next week. So everyone that's on the notification list, you will be updated when I drop that. And, I'm trying to think of a good time to do that. Back in 2008, I had stellar credit in the banks and Amex USA City slashed three of my credit cards limits drastically. So I would take the 200K any day over a 750 credit score. I don't know what's going on with the live stream today, but this is the conclusion. So for those of you who want to do YouTube, the link is below. You can get 50% off because I'm still building out the course. And also, if you have not signed up for Oxygen Bank, do so. And I'm going to tell you why. You should go below, get 30 days to 2,500, get the Hustler's Mindset, Pimp Your Mind for Success, hit the link for Oxygen Bank, sign up, get another account, deposit $200, use the debit card 5 times. I get $25, you get $25, and use that account to start segmenting your new money. Man, they are, hold on a second. Banks canceling credit cards, cutting limits. If you haven't used your card in a while, make a small purchase with it to keep it open. It's good for your credit score. Banks are pulling back on their risk exposure by cutting credit card limits or canceling cards altogether, says Ted Rossman. This article was June 4th, 2020. They, like I've said, if you're sitting around here thinking that you can rely on your credit, they ain't playing with people right now. They cutting people's limits left and right. They cutting people. They cutting them. They cutting them. They're like, hey, no more credit for you, man. And also, I want you to think, if you have a good credit score, and let's say you have 6 credit cards and they close 3, and the 3 that are open, you have maxed out. Guess what's going to happen to your credit score? It's going to crash. It's going to crash and burn. So this is why you need to have some cash in your life. This is why you need to be about that cash life. Let's see. The stream is really fuzzy. I hope it straightens up on the playback. Jay Smith, thank you. Melly Main Smith had huge limits, all 330K and more. Good Lord. All right, so that's all I got for you savages today. I will see you in the next one. Go below, get what you need, sign up for Oxygen Bank, and I will talk to you guys